generation here in Ulibarri. I left when I was very young, and I've traveled all over the world, and gained a lot of knowledge and experience. And I always knew I was going to come home to my roots to stay. And I've been back for quite some time now, and I'm not going anywhere. And I care about this community, and this is why, the oil companies that want to come in and drill and frack, we see land differently. In my culture, we see land as a place. This is the place where my father was born, where his umbilical cord was cut and his blood soaked into this land, and my grandmother before him, and her mother before her. And industry sees this as space. Borders, topography, a place to exploit for natural resources or other things. And there's no connection there to the land. As I said before, you would ask my father or my grandmother or anybody else, how much land do you own? They'll say, we own nothing. We don't own any land. We're just the caretakers. And that's how we feel about it. And that's why I'm so passionate about protecting it, because it's my job to protect it for future generations. So this is a historical narrative that I painted of the time period of the Guerra Blanca, when the train came to town and all the land thieving started. This was the resistance. Juan Jose Carrera, Tío Juan Jose Carrera, Pablo, and Nicanor, they were all my uncles. Some of these roads up here on the mountain are named after Pablo and Nicanor, farmed this land for many years.
So is that kind of why you wear the white hat?
This is definitely a Guerra Blanca.
Yeah.
I'm a father of 9 children, 4 boys, 5 girls. I used to be a foster parent, and a lot of the children that I knew were going to be in the system that weren't going to be returned home, I just kept them. And that's really the reason why I have so many children.
Oh.
But I'm their dad. They know I'm their dad. They're all great kids. The jury's still out on my youngest boy, but I'm sure he'll be fine. Rock and Adam Ulibarri are my eldest boys. One of them Adam works at BTU. They're both students at Heinz University. Adam's becoming a teacher, like his father, like his great-grandmother, and like so many other of my relatives here from Ulibarri. That was pretty much the trade up here. They were teachers. They were all teachers. I can't think of any other trade that they were. They're all, with the exception of just working the ranch.
So what's your name?
I'm Samuel.
Okay, and tell me about Rock.
He's a good dude. That's all you need to know. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, he's very understanding to me anyway, and to other students. He does his best to help us with work, and he helps us learn new things every day.
Yeah, all right, thank you. So what do you like about him? What makes him a good teacher?
He very hands-on, and he shows us a lot of stuff, like how to build stuff.
What do you like about him?
He's a fun teacher and likes to do projects, and he does fun things with us.
Yeah. So you trust him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's better than doing boring work. He turns it fun, makes it fun.
Think about Rock. Tell me about him.
I think Rock's a good teacher. He's really politically active, and he's good, really, I think.
Uh-huh.
I like him.
One of my accomplishments that I loved doing was a mural project. We worked on it for 2 years. Over 300 students from East and West collaborated on that, and they learned so much about their own history, the stuff that's not in our history books, and it validated them, and it validated their existence. And I don't know how important that is, because when I was validated finally, when a book came out that had my family's history in it, my people's history in it, finally a history book with that I was a part of, and that's validation, and that's why I did it. I personally want community-owned energy and not corporate-owned. As far as the current issue, fracking, I'm lucky enough to work at a school that we do expeditionary learning. We delve so deep inside of issues, and whatever our expedition is, me and my students, we detail it out. We traveled last year to Artesia and Carlsbad. We visited all the oil wells. We knocked on doors and talked to people, and then we came back. And we had industry inside the classroom. We had activists inside the classroom, environmentalists inside the classroom, and we put all the pieces together, and we came up with a conclusion. And there is nothing good about the industry, and that's what we came up with. I know there are some people that say, don't believe what you see read on the internet. Well, we went over there personally, and I had my students close their eyes and tell me when we got to Artesia. I said, how can we tell you when we get to Artesia when I close my eyes? So just close your eyes and tell me when we're in Artesia. And simultaneously, when that smell hit us, all the students on the bus were like, oh my God, what's that smell? And I told the commissioners, is this what you want for San Miguel County? I don't think so. You know, for 3 days worth of gas and oil to pollute our lands and our water and our air, lands that we've held for quite some time. As a matter of fact, all these leases are lands that were stolen from us. They were former land grant lands. They stole the land, they stole the resources, they stole the mineral rights, and now they want to pollute what we have left. And we're not going to give this land up. We're not going to give what we have, what we're protecting here. There's alternatives. And we don't have to have a corporation to show up here to save us, to give us jobs. We can create our own jobs. It's grassroots economic development. I've done it in the Philippines. I've done it in Nicaragua. I've done it when the Philippines was devastated by a volcano, Mount Pinatubo. We went over there and we created jobs, micro loans and no interest loans to get people on their feet, taught them how to write business plans, and we found the money for it. We can certainly do it here, and I'm experienced in it. And I have no problem going to Washington, D.C. I got no problem going to Santa Fe and sitting in people's offices and not leaving until we get what we deserve. We need money coming on this side of the tortilla curtain. That's grassroots economic development, and we own it, and we don't need someone else to come in and save us. We can have control of our economy. Besides grassroots economic development, another alternative to oil industry is an alternative energy center, an education center, where we teach our children a trade. We have more sunlight in this state than any other state. We have wind. We have everything here. We have all these trees, all these resources that we're thinning these mountains, and we're lopping and scattering and burning. And all this is energy that we can use, that we already own, that we already have. And we can build a center. Our kids can learn about alternative energy. They can be licensed in it and become pros at it. And we can start converting the city offices and the county offices to be totally green and self-sufficient. Perhaps low-income housing, elderly, and get it all from what the earth provides. I do believe that our youth are our most precious resource, and our elders are our biggest asset. And somehow there's been this divide in our culture where our youth and our elders have been separated, and they're not spending that time together that we used to spend together. And this is how we learned as children. Our elders have a wealth of knowledge, and those that retire and they just go home and sit down alone and watch TV and don't do anything and aren't active, that is a total waste of knowledge, of a lifetime of knowledge. And I'd like to create programs funded by the county and hopefully with the city also, especially for the rural areas, to make these connections with all this wealth of knowledge from our elders and our young people, do summer programs, all kinds of programs throughout the years, things for these kids to do, so they can learn from our elders just like we used to. The state police get quite a bit of money for being the first responders in San Miguel County. They're all over Beckles, they're all over the city of Las Vegas, and I've never seen that before. I would like to see the sheriff's department be the first responders in our county. They know the people, they know the culture. They can de-escalate a potential problem much quicker than a state police officer from New York who doesn't know the people, doesn't speak the language, doesn't know the culture, and is too aggressive. Our sheriff's department should be the first responders, and they should be getting that funding to get more vehicles, to get more sheriffs from here, policing our own people.
That's great.
Hello, my name is Miguel Angel. I'm the director of Casa de Cultura. I have known Rock for a few years now, and I can say without question that Rock is a very talented individual. He's a talented teacher. He's a talented artist. He's a talented mechanic. Rock is very principled. If Rock tells you something, you can take it to the bank. You can rest assured that he's not going to say something to you and say something different to somebody else. His concern for community, families, his respect for students. You know, he's always on the positive side, no matter what the, if he has troubled students or if he has students having difficulties, he works with them. So I would say that Rock, as far as I'm concerned, is head and shoulders above any of his political contenders.
My name is Ulibarri, and I'm humbly asking for your vote on June 3rd. A vote for me is a vote for us. And I'd appreciate your support. Mamo Ulibarri, un voto para mí es un voto para nosotros. Muchas gracias.